Hey everybody, Weem here. Welcome to Ingnomia. I have been super excited about this game. Basically, it popped up on Steam some time ago. Somebody actually sent me a message and said, hey, have you heard of this yet? I said, no, let me go look. What is this thing? Ingnomia. Sounds like Gnomoria. And sure enough, it looked identical to it. Here you can see it looks very similar if you played Gnomoria. But the goal here from the developer, Roast, is he's basically merging Gnomoria with Dwarf Fortress. The description that he wrote up says, following in the footsteps of Dwarf Fortress and Gnomoria, this game aims to provide the best experience from both worlds, the graphics and accessibility of Gnomoria, and the depth and rich content of Dwarf Fortress. And I've played both of those games quite a bit and have kind of thought about those things before. Like, I love Dwarf Fortress, but I would love for it to be more accessible, less of such a steep learning curve to get into the game. It did take me 3 attempts. Once I figured it out, I loved it. I love Dwarf Fortress, but the idea of meshing those two together is awesome. He's got started on it. He's already got a number of things going pretty quickly with this, and I thought I would just let you guys know about it. So today what I want to do is I want to start a new game and just kind of show you some of the early basics and make this kind of a quick video just to kind of inform you, let you know about this game in case you hadn't heard of it or you think it might interest you. And in doing so, I kind of jump back here to the main menu. I'm going to go ahead and start a new game really quick. Now everything's very rudimentary. One thing I should mention right off the top is this game is super early access, right? It's been in a closed alpha, but he just yesterday opened it up to an open alpha, and it is free, so you can actually download this. I'll have a link in the description to the game in Steam. You can just go there, download it, and start playing right away. Changes are happening all the time, and I've even seen him take feedback in Discord, update it, and then say, okay, I've updated it on Steam that quickly. So he's constantly working on this thing. Now we've got a number of settings here. I've already lowered the flatness down a bit. I wanted to have a relatively flat area to work in. You could see the tree density, plant stuff, we can work with that. I've left everything as default except for the flatness. I lowered that. We've got these presets here, easy, medium, hard. One of the things about the early development is easy actually was empty. I jumped in the game and had nothing to start with. Turns out I had to come in here and choose a different one, like medium, and then go to easy, and it populated everything in. Now while I'm here, you can see we can add items in. And the game is in such an early state that there's even tools for kind of just adding in gnomes if you want. You can just add in as many as you want just for testing purposes, which we can also do with items here. So I wanted to see, you can see the different things we have here, and I wanted to see if we had a torch. Whoops, I just added an alarm bell. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to hit the drop down. I think it's called like a pine torch or a pine something. No, maybe we can just grab some kind of torch. I thought there was a light. I forgot what there is a different kind of light, but we're gonna just add a few torches in here. And let me just kind of scroll through this a little bit, see what else we got here. I think pickaxes, yes, we've got those. That's good. Let's see. Just wanted to see if there's anything else I wanted to throw in here. You know what? I do want to throw in. I kind of want to just throw in a few workbenches just right off the top. So I think that's probably good enough for now. Why don't we add a couple chickens just for fun? You can see some of the other things that you can allow into the game or not. You can turn off certain kinds of trees or plants or animals, but we're just gonna jump right in. Okay, we've got our gnomes out here, a couple workbenches, some chickens. I'm assuming we've got our other tools and everything, so we're gonna kind of jump right into this. Now we need to get assigning them some tasks, and here we've got the buttons just as you would normally see them in Gnomoria, and just like Gnomoria, we can actually right click out here and choose any of the things that we want to choose. I'm going to actually go ahead and do a wall, and we're going to kind of scroll down, which lowers the terrain. It kind of chops each layer down, and then I want to rotate the camera. Hold still a second, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and dig into this hill. Yeah, something like that. I like to get a bunch of tasks set up before we even start the game. It is paused right now. So let's go ahead, and we want to fell some trees. We're going to cut down some nearby trees, something like that. And I want to build a workshop. We don't have stone or anything. We can't do the crude bench. We can put down the carpenter, so let's just go ahead and put that down right now. Put that there. We will get stone by mining into here, so that'll happen at some point. We're going to pick fruit, and that can happen off of various trees. We're just going to highlight there. So found some there. We're probably chopping down some fruit trees too, but that's okay. We need wood. And then on the top of this hill, let's get what's up there too. Cool. So that'll get like some food going, which I think is going to be good. Now with the workbench going here, what I want to do is I'm going to make a stockpile. And for that, we're going to designate an area, a stockpile. We're just going to do this here. And here's where we'll start to show you some of the differences here with Gnomoria, how this works. So basically I've got a designated area here. If I go ahead and select it, you can see we've kind of got a different window here. If you've played Gnomoria, again, you'd be familiar with kind of the setup for this, with how they've done it. But we can actually go to filter here and see the different things that we can filter. And I can go to materials, and I want to go all wood. We don't have any other wood, so it's not showing anything we've got, but I'm turning on all wood, so that should cover that. So any wood should go here. Let's go ahead and start this up. And you can see some are going right to digging. If I lower down, we can see them digging in there. We do have the wood was chopped down here. And I don't know, actually I do want to test this. Let's slow this down a bit. If I go back in here and I go to materials, okay, so pine is selected. So all wood is selected and we have pine, so it automatically selected. I didn't know if I needed to come back in and do that. So that's cool. They're picking fruit. We can see apples, strawberries. We do need to get a farm down, so we're going to go ahead and do that as well. I think, let's see, is that agriculture farm? And let's just put this over here. We should have some seeds. We do. We'll go strawberry for that one. Let's look at the advanced tab here. Okay, so we can set some auto elements to this too. That's cool. So we've got a strawberry field. Let's go ahead and do a field here for wheat. Why not? And we'll do one over here. I'm just randomly kind of choosing sizes for these. Normally I'm I'm much more picky about having these all be the same. And then we will do the barley. So anyway, we'll get those farms going. That's going to be good. You can see wood chopped. That's great. We've got like a stick over here. We can actually select the different tiles and everything. And just kind of see what they're about, which is cool. Now, one of the things that was really cool about this for me was when you jump into population. Now, you can see we've got all of our workers here, all the jobs across the top, and then the points based on their skill in those jobs. Now, this was something that you didn't have in Gnomoria to this degree, but this you would see in Dwarf Fortress in a program called Dwarf Therapist. It looks exactly like this. So we can actually come in here and say, well, we don't need everybody to mine. So if it's gray, this is turning them all off. And then I will go ahead and turn back on just like the couple good miners, those 4. And we can do that with other, obviously with other skills as well, to make sure that we have people kind of focused on the things that they're really good at, because we don't want everybody doing everything just all the time. So we'll turn on 2 carpenters there. I think we'll just leave it at that for now, but I probably should get in there to the farming and everything. You can see it is now dark, so they're working through the night. Okay, I'll let some days go by here. We've got a little bit more going on. Obviously some more trees chopped down. I've been digging. I've been wanting to get some stone because I want to make the other workbench here. Let's actually see. I did just hit some, so we should be able to do this now. There we go. We've got this kind of stone. This was one of the things in Gnomoria, for example. You could do this in Dwarf Fortress, but again, with the UI, it just makes it a lot easier to see that you want to make a workbench and that you need wood and stone, and you can just tell it any, or you can get very specific about which type of wood you want. Again, Dwarf Fortress, you could do that. You would kind of tap down through the list and select and everything, but it's nice to have a little visual here. So you can see we've got just sandstone right now. Let's go ahead and put this guy down. We'll put him there. And then we'll go underground a bit. But what I want to do is actually build. So we can actually go build utility, and we've got the pine torches here. Let's just go with this guy. And we're going to put one in here because it's really dark. And then what I want to do is just kind of bring you down. So I've been digging and just putting stairs next to each other. Down, down, down. And you could see, we can see the ores in here and everything. In Gnomoria, you could only see the ores, and Dwarf Fortress as well. That you basically had exposed in your digging. So for now, we can see everything, early access and all. That's kind of how this is working. So let's just go ahead and stick a torch here, and then we'll go down and down. And this is where, let's see, here's where we actually hit some stone. I think this is stone here, but we have more here. So we'll go ahead and drop a torch here. We could really just kind of put one at each level somewhere. Or am I out now? I'm out of those. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. We'll put one in here. Now, one of the recent updates that just went in, I noticed people had been asking in Discord, and I like this as well, is to be able to lower the walls so they're not so tall, so you could see. It's a little hard to see right now because it's dark. Let me go to some lighter terrain. There you go. Basically, if I want to put something down in the corner, like this wall kind of blocks it, so we can't really get in there. But if you can lower the walls, now I can put a torch in that corner, bring it back up. That's where I want it, but I wouldn't be able to select there otherwise. So he threw that in real quick. Very cool. So anyway, that'll get some torches going. They're going to build those. And basically from the build menu, if I come back out here and say build furniture, for example, it's only going to show stuff that we've actually built, that we actually have somewhere around to place. So that's pretty cool. Makes that pretty easy. You can imagine if you had if it listed everything, you know, visually in a UI, and it said, here's everything you could possibly make, and you went to do it and didn't have the materials, that doesn't help you too much. Now, if there was some automated system of, well, I build this thing here, and okay, they now know that they need to go build those materials, and something like that could be coming, but that's just not where we're at right now. So anyway, let's go ahead and start this back up. Get these guys running around. They should put a torch down at some point. There you go. Look at that. We have light. Kind of go down through here and see if we've got any more. There's one. Not all the way down here yet. You're putting one in, I imagine. There we go. Cool. Very cool. So we've got all this stuff on the ground. One of the things I wanted to note too is you can zoom in. I can hold control and we can zoom in deep into here. You can see it gets a little chunky looking, but if you wanted to get right in here, cool thing is the bottom left we can see the scale is 2.4, so if I go back I know right where I wanted to be at 1. But we can actually come in here and click things, so we can select this, mouse over it, and you can see that it's tin, raw ore, and we have the sandstone, which is just raw stone. So this is a cool level here to get some of that. We do have the sandstone here as well, so we're kind of digging all of that out. And we could really get into some mining here. If I actually pan over here, you could see the other resources down below. It's kind of cool. Got all kinds of stuff in there. Okay, well the farm's coming along pretty good, which is cool. We do have some animals roaming around. Now, in Gnomoria, bears would really mess you up. They seem to attack right away, if I recall correctly. But I have seen bears get pretty close and not do anything. So they may not be kind of insta-aggro right now, which is cool. I'm sure that will come, though, at some point. But let's jump into some other stuff. Now, we looked at population, we looked at what our gnomes were doing here, and I've gone ahead and figured out some more tasks as well. I do feel like this is kind of counterintuitive. I feel like if if you select one that it's telling you, you know, I want them to do that. It does make sense that all of these people are open to doing all these jobs, but just to confirm, in case you're wondering, we're telling him not to do, we're looking at walk it here and saying don't do wood cutting and carpentry. And we can actually select them and see that those are unchecked here, so it does match up. Again, I threw a few more in there, so that's cool for now. Let's go ahead and close that. We do have stocks here, so we can look at our inventory of items. We've got things here. You can see some woods here. We've got pine, but we don't have applewood or anything yet. We've got other stockpiles too, and you can name these. I think I might have renamed one of these at one point and it didn't stick. It's not like a save button, but anyway, that's the thing that we can do is look at all the different stockpiles. If we go to Kingdom here, we can see the technology. We have a 1. I'm assuming it's some kind of rating of where we're at right now, so low. It's very, very early. Nothing in the overview, and in fact, here's where we can add gnomes. It's hard to read here, but it says temporary solution to get new gnomes until we add a migration mechanism. So anyway, if we want new gnomes, currently we got to bring them in ourselves. Much better. Let me rotate the camera back the way I had it before. I thought I'd throw some torches down. I actually thought I was out of torches when I went to build. Go to build in utility because I had it selected and I looked and was like, oh, I must be out. But I'm realizing that that was just that I had it selected. So we may have an unlimited supply of these here in the beginning, which is cool. So I thought I would throw some out here. Definitely helps. It's very dark at night in the game right now. I don't know if they're going to lighten that up or not, but the torches definitely help. So things are coming along pretty good, actually. I should probably get some more stockpiles going. I should probably make some barrels and some other crates and everything to store stuff. Let's actually click on this workbench here and look at the recipes so you can see the different things we can make. I wonder what happens if I... okay, nothing. Let's I wonder if I click this if it does anything. So you can see that we can make planks here, we can make sticks, chairs, things like that. We can jump into the queue and choose them as well. I do need planks to make a number of things, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Again, we could get real specific on the wood types. I'm not going to worry about it. So we can hit craft plank. This layout is actually very similar to how Gnomoria worked as well. You had the options on the left with these to kind of control how many you want to make on the right. So I could spam a bunch of these out, say, okay, let's do 3. Or I could just say repeat and basically have it just continue to make planks. Or we can craft to a certain number, and I think that's what we'll do, is we're going to craft like maybe 30 of these. 30 planks. We'll do something like that. And let me close it, and then I kind of want to reopen it. Whenever there's not a save option, I kind of want to double check things. Let's go to the workbench, queue, plank, craft to 1. Let's change this again. 30 planks, right? 30. Is it changing on me? Okay, we should be good there. Should be good. Let's try one more time. Crude workbench, queue. Okay. Switching to 1, and I'm guessing that they made a plank. Yeah. Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of crank out some planks. Actually, you know, let's just repeat it and hope that works. Yeah, because we just need a lot of planks. There's a lot of different things we can make here at the carpentry station, and most of these require planks. If we go to recipes, you'll see plank, plank, plank. If we want to make crates, I mean, planks are involved in a lot of different things, so anyway, beds would be nice too. It'd be nice for them to not have to sleep outside on the ground. Look at him go, just repeating the planks, and as soon as he makes a plank, they're moving it over. I made a stockpile for planks over here, so he puts it down and somebody moves it over. Now, I can't tell if they're trying to move some in. I think they're actually moving logs over here. That's what's going on. A log is moving over here. The plank is being crafted, then the plank gets moved over to the stockpile here. So that's pretty cool. Let's look at the overview here. We've got different kinds of planks coming in. That's pretty cool. And we can make other stockpiles and pull, so you could have a very specific type of plank pull into another stockpile. So pretty cool setup here. Okay, well, I think I wanted to show you maybe just a few more things. Just let you know that there is no military events, or at least these are not opening for me right now. So I can't really show you anything there. I didn't want you to think that I was skipping over that. There are some other options in the menu here. And one thing to note too, this isn't a contextual menu. You don't have to right click on the piece of ground or the exact tree you want to do something with. You can really right click anywhere. And it basically is just walking through the navigation down here. If you click on this, you get some more options. It's the same as out here, kind of clicking terrain and getting the different options here. So anyway, we can kind of back. I tend to use this menu here when I was playing Gnomoria. So again, we can dig walls, you can dig holes and dig stairs down. That's what I did inside. Remove floors. Basically every layer here, as we kind of scroll up and down, it cuts through layers. Every layer has 2 elements to it. I'm going to actually kind of control zoom in here. So this layer that we dug into right here, there's the main block, and then there is a floor, and it's kind of weird because it belongs to like this layer. Technically it's a ceiling. If I were to dig that out, it would be part of, it would actually drop down. From this grass level here, it would come down to like 2 pixels or whatever if you took the floor out. Or if I took a floor out here, it would look like there was an indent in there. So basically, that's how I see it anyway. It's kind of part of that block. If you wanted to make a hole in the ground, for example, that you could like fall down into, it is both the floor and the block below that have to go away. I suppose the floor could be seen as the block, the layer above. That's probably more correct than my way of looking at it, but you get the idea. So anyway, let me kind of control back out to here. I'd love a hotkey to go back to the 1 scale zoom. But anyway, we've got planting trees, fell trees. We've already felled some trees. We picked some fruit. You can forage the ground. This is how you actually get, for example, right here, you get different bushes and berries and things off the ground. So that's kind of a task we can set to people. Remove a plant. There's obviously building and the different kinds of building there. Scaffolding helps you build up like walls, a wall on top of a wall, things like that, make roofs, things, get that going. So that definitely makes that easier. Then you can designate areas, stockpiles we've set out, agriculture for the farm, we can designate rooms, you can cancel jobs if you've told people to chop down trees. And then we have deconstruct, which is how you would break down something you would build. And then remove designation is how you could get rid of like a stockpile. So that's kind of it. It's the quick run through of those menus. But basically, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you. I wanted to make this as quick as possible, mostly just let you know that the game existed, that's being worked on feverishly. Updates coming out all the time for it. It's coming along a lot faster than when I expected it. We really don't have to go back too far when it was first announced that he was doing this on Steam, and for it to come to this open alpha stage also seemed pretty quick. And obviously there's a lot missing and there's a lot to come, but as I said, he's working on it and putting out updates pretty quickly, so I'm really excited. There's the potential for me doing some kind of little mini-series on this down the road. I don't want to do it yet because the game is changing too much right now, but I'm definitely excited to get my hands back into this at some point. I'm going to let a few updates go by, maybe a week or so, and jump back into it and see how things are going. But so far I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Okay, one more thing before I go. I thought I would show you the creation of a wall here. I started a wall. You can actually just go into here to build, terrain, wall, and this was mostly what I wanted to show you. I really like this setup. The visualization, you can visually see what your walls will look like, is really cool. I love this. And you can select through the different kinds, and you can see what they take. The text is black, so it's very hard to read, but it says block. So it takes blocks in order to make these kinds of walls, and even some of these as well. But a stone cutter can make the blocks from stone. So basically I selected this guy here, and you can get very specific with the type. We really only have sandstone, so on any it looks like it's gray. But because it is sandstone, if we go ahead and switch, you'll see it is this brown, and that's why that's getting made out here. So it's one of the things I like to do in Gnomoria right away. Even in Dwarf Fortress, wherever I have my entrance and I'm kind of going underground, I tend to wall it up. So I thought I would throw some down, and anyway, just thought I would show you that because I really like the visualization of the walls. Very, very cool. But anyway, I do want to thank you guys for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. Again, I may do some kind of little series on this because I love Gnomoria and I love Dwarf Fortress, and I'm just super excited to see this one progress. And I imagine, as well as it's gone so far, I'm going to be even more excited to check it out again here in the near future, and probably bring some videos here for it. So thanks again. I will catch you guys next time.